Treating COVID while protecting yourself can be difficult. Fortunately, there's a hotline you can call with any questions. The Department of Indian Work St. Paul partnered with the Minnesota Department of Health to open the Twin Cities American Indian COVID-19 hotline. They provide information on vaccines, booster shots, and testing sites. Right now, booster shots are available to anyone over the age of 18 for those who are eligible. The Twin Cities American Indian COVID-19 hotline can also help with housing, food, medical, and educational support. If you or someone you know has questions about COVID-19, vaccinations, booster shots, or testing, please call 651-304-9986. Again, the number is 651-304-9986. The Twin Cities American Indian COVID-19 hotline is open for calls Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call the Twin Cities American Indian COVID-19 hotline at 651-304-9986. COVID levels may be falling, but the virus is still around. Stay healthy and up to date on your COVID vaccinations and boosters. Right now, everyone 6 months and older is eligible to get a vaccination, while everyone 5 and up is eligible for their booster shot. Plus, you're eligible for a second booster if you're over 50 or received an initial booster dose at least 4 months ago. Find a vaccination site by calling 651-304-9986 or visit vaccineconnector.mn.gov. This message brought to you by the Native American Community Clinic.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States, and 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected. Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf. Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy. As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired. Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
Hey, Ogama, I've been hearing a lot about this term, climate justice. What is that?
Climate justice is recognizing that the negative impacts of climate change don't affect all people equally. It also means transitioning from a fossil fuel-based economy to a more sustainable future. MN350 is one of the groups that's pushing for this transition to protect our futures. You can even get involved too.
That's great, especially since I'm concerned about pipeline projects like Line 3. How can I help MN350?
Just find them on Facebook or visit mn350.org.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Partly cloudy tonight with a low of 65, then a chance of showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday with a high of 82. Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood bar and restaurant at 26th and Lyndale in Minneapolis. Come in for the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. View their menu or place a takeout order at nightingalempls.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be Indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hitting cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi, to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot, and we discuss local and national Native news and events. And as you know, Ogama, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
And this portion of the show is brought to you by the Native Roots Trading Post, which is going to be at the Minnesota State Fair in the West End Market. The Minnesota State Fair starts August 25th and runs through September 5th. Native Roots Radio will be broadcasting live on weekdays through the fair. Native Roots Trading Post has all of your awesome Native crafts, swag, and gear from Native Roots Radio. So make sure you stop in and check us out in the West End Market.
Well, I just posted a picture. The store is not totally open yet and still in flux right now, and I'm going to go there. Wendy's there right now, and we're going to have her on probably just a little bit in the second segment just to check in, and then I'm going to run out there after the show. But today it's, Rock the Vote Native Style Ogama, and we're going to have Sheila Lamb from Cloquet, Minnesota, and she's a city council person, and we talk about how important it is everywhere down from, and I shouldn't say down from, but from city council member to school board member. We need to get our Indigenous and progressive people in there. And so we're going to touch base with her. And I'm going to try and get hold of Ruth Buffalo, too. She's in between airports and maybe be able to talk to her for a little bit, Ogama. But let's start out right now with the news that you don't hear anywhere else with Ogama Gnu Akwe.
Hi, Ani Bonjour, everybody. My name is Ogama Akwe, and I'm a member of the Red Lake Nation in northern Minnesota. Some news for you today. It was just announced that the Water is Life Festival is going to have a new special guest. The Water is Life Festival is happening Sunday, September 4th at the Bayfront Festival Park in Duluth, Minnesota. Music starts at 12 p.m. noon. The headlining artist is Ani DeFranco with the Indigo Girls, Allison Russell, and more, including local artists like Dessa and Annie Humphrey, as well as native artists like David Huckfeld and Keith Secola and Corey Medina. But also, we are going to have Gary Farmer, who's going to be live at the Waters Life Festival, which was just announced. Gary Farmer is he's Uncle Brownie on Reservation Dogs. He's also starred in the cult classic native movie Smoke Signals. And I believe he's also starring in a more recent show too, I think. And the name of it is escaping me, but there's another show that he's on where he plays, I think it's called No One on the show, if I remember reading it correctly. Let me
Well, he's also like one of the first movies that I saw him in was Powwow Highway, and that was many years ago. That was even before Smoke Signals, and
Mhm.
he plays a great part in Smoke Signals as the father, and and he also, Ogama, I do believe, I know he's in a band, so I think his band's playing there too. So we're gonna be there, probably backstage, being all bougie and stuff. But I'm the selfie king, so we'll be taking some selfies back there too. Ho!
Exactly. Yes. So he starred as nobody in the movie Dead Man. That's what it was. I couldn't remember what the name of the movie was, but it came to me while you were talking. So that is so exciting that we're going to have Gary Farmer and his group or backup band playing for the Waters Life Festival on September 4th. Another event that is coming up that people should keep and mark their calendars for is September 9th, 2022. The Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center is hosting their annual Red Dress Gala at the Intercontinental St. Paul Riverfront Hotel from 5:30 to 10 p.m. Make sure you go to the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center website or Facebook page to find out more information about that. And another really important event that's happening in the Twin Cities next week, September 1st through November 14th, is going to be a spiritual walk for the release of political prisoner Leonard Peltier. The American Indian Movement Grand Governing Council is sponsoring a walk from Minneapolis, Minnesota to Washington, D.C. This is going to be the longest and largest walk, I believe, since the Trail of Broken Treaties in 72, right, Robert?
Yeah, it's going to be a long one for sure, and we're excited. Hopefully, maybe you can come down and cover that because we'll still be at the fair, but we're going to try and get somebody out there to call in during the show and tell us what's going on.
Yes, exactly. So along the route for Leonard Peltier's Walk to Justice, which starts again September 1st and runs through November 18th from Minneapolis to the Capitol in Washington, D.C., they're going to make stops in Eau Claire on September 5th, Madison, Wisconsin on September 17th, Chicago on September 24th, South Bend on October 1st, Cleveland, October 19th, Toledo, October 11th, and Pittsburgh, October 28th, before hitting Washington, D.C. on November 14th. That last leg of the trip is going to be a long one. So our prayers are up for those people who are taking that stand to walk for Leonard Peltier's release from prison. He deserves justice.
Yes, he does.
Other news that we have going on is that up in Canada, there's been an encampment at the Manitoba Capitol building for going on for about a year now, actually. So the province has now given an eviction notice to those protesters that have been on the legislator lawn. In Manitoba, there were Native people that set up teepees and basically set up a camp in front of the Manitoba Legislative Building. And vowed to stay there until all the children from all of the boarding schools in Canada have been found. But now, after more than a year, and after all of the craziness that happened with the truckers in Canada circling around the Capitol buildings and all of that, the province of Manitoba has told them that for safety reasons, they need to vacate. They told CBC Canada, News Canada, that they do not intend to move. They do intend to stay. So we'll have some updates after that. But oddly enough, in the eviction notice that was issued, the government did not indicate how long those encampments had to leave the area. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, Robert.
We like encampments.
We do like encampments.
We move all over towards whatever the holiday is, and it's whatever the weather is. So rock on, you guys. We support you.
Yes, well, and that is another thing that the province of Manitoba is concerned about is that last Canada Day, a statue of Mary Elizabeth or Queen Elizabeth, Queen Mary, something like that, was knocked down and beheaded, very much so like the Christopher Columbus statues that have faced the same fate here in the United States. So I think
I didn't see that in
worry.
The Crown. We watched The Crown, so I didn't see that happen. Maybe that'll be the next season. Oh,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
This is a really good piece of news, Robert. This is more of a science news, and it came from sci.org. They think that they may have found a way to destroy some of those PFAS or those forever chemicals that are stuck in our food, Robert, and our water and our ground. All of these. Northwestern University chemists have found a way to use low temperatures and inexpensive common reagents to help to reduce floral and petrochemical carbons down to the point where they fall apart and become only benign end products. So this is really, really something that Minnesota needs. PFAS, which again are short for per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, sorry about that, they've been used for about 70 years as non-sticking and waterproof agents, and now they are in the U.S. drinking water and in the blood of about 97% of the U.S. population, and they are associated with increased risks of cancer and other immunities. And fortunately, while they have found a way to break down some of these PFAS, unfortunately, there's they found a way to break down two of the most common, but there's about 12,000 more to go. But it is promising.
Hey, we'll be right back. Thanks, Ogama, with Wendy at the State Fair. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
We are your relatives.
We are your relations.
Brothers,
sisters,
sons,
daughters. And some of us are your grandchildren.
We are your community. Historically, we held places of honor and respect. Because of the impact of colonization, some of us are rejected, thrown out from family, friends, and community, set up as targets for sexual violence, sex trafficked, humiliated, tortured, and murdered. Everybody has the right to be safe. We are your relatives. Remember,
homophobia is not traditional.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
The Division of Indian Work is helping Native children with a back-to-school event. The Strong Community Resource Fair will take place Thursday, August 25th from 11 until 3 p.m. in the DIW parking lot at 1001 East Lake Street in Minneapolis. There will be backpacks, food, and school supplies, and a prayer and honor song at 11:30. Plus $50 of COVID vaccine incentives will be available. Again, that's Thursday, August 25th from 11 until 3 p.m. at 1001 East Lake Street in Minneapolis. Learn more by calling 612-369-9770.
Hey, Ogama, I've been hearing a lot about this term, climate justice. What is that?
Climate justice is recognizing that the negative impacts of climate change don't affect all people equally. It also means transitioning from a fossil fuel-based economy to a more sustainable future. MN350 is one of the groups that's pushing for this transition to protect our futures. You can even get involved too.
That's great, especially since I'm concerned about pipeline projects like Line 3. How can I help MN350?
Just find them on Facebook or visit mn350.org.
Seward Co-op is now offering convenient self-serve and prepackaged hot options and salad bars at both the Franklin and Friendship stores. Breakfast items available daily until 11 a.m. and brunch served all day every Sunday. Their weekly lunch and dinner menus highlight cuisines from around the world. They offer vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free options daily. 95% of the ingredients used are organic from small-scale, local community food producers whenever possible. More at seward.coop.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is brought to you by MN350, working for a sustainable future.
Hey, and they're a grassroots organization fighting for climate justice, too. Hey, speaking of which, climate justice, Wendy's on the phone, and Wendy's taking a break here because all she's been doing is running for the last, well, I guess more than a week, but the last couple of days. Wendy, are you there?
I am here at the Minnesota State Fair in the West Market, and I am working on our store called Native Roots Trading Post, and we are going to be here starting Thursday, August 25th through Monday, September 5th, and we are so excited. We have so much beautiful Native art and Native-inspired art, and we have everything from T-shirts to hats to scarves to beautiful basketball, beautiful candles. We have wild rice that was hand harvested. We have Ramona hemp pasta. We have all kinds of beautiful beaded jewelry and bandanas and scarves and backpacks. I could go on and on. You have to come down here.
Check it out, Wendy. I took a picture just of a few of the Sage Against the Machine and our Resist shirts, and people are blowing it up going, I want one, I want one. And
Well, come on down. We have all sizes and for everybody, all shapes and sizes. We got it. You need it, we got it.
Yeah, exactly. So what does it look like out there? A lot of people getting ready. I know it was hard for me to drive out of there. It took me a while because there were so many cars driving around.
There are so many people who have booths here. Everybody's getting ready. Everybody's in a great mood. They're smiling. They just can't wait till the fair to start. And it's just going to be a great Minnesota State Fair. You know, last year they had half of their audience that came and their attendance. The year before, remember, Robert, we didn't even have a state fair.
Right.
So people are ready this year. They're ready to come out. They want to mingle. They want to shop. They want to come back to the great Minnesota get-together.
Right. And I feel like, we are included now. I mean, we've had our radio show on Saturdays when we were on Saturdays live out there. And then Larry Yazzie and the Native Dancers were out there. And then there was a booth in the down there too. We just stopped by and talked to them. So there's two of us down there in the whole state fair out of how many vendors? Something like 1,000, Ogama?
Well,
more than 900, they told me.
More than 900 vendors. I think that includes the food as well. But yeah, there's over 900.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So we're excited and we're here. It's hot, but it's great. I'm getting ready and it's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun.
You know, Wendy, I would be interested to hear your report on the last day of the fair or when everybody's packing up because everybody's so happy and excited. I would be interested to hear your report on the last day of what the look on everybody's faces when they're packing up after 12 straight days of state fair.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'm sure that we're going to be happy because we're going to have a successful state fair this year.
Well, Wendy, we used to be people that went 7, 8, 9 times a year. What is your favorite part of the fair?
Ooh, my favorite part of the fair is Foci. And Foci is a glass blowing company. They're in Minneapolis. and they give demonstrations. So they have glass blowing artists that come and demonstrate how to make all different kinds of things out of their glass, out of glass. Like they take a block of glass, they heat it up, and they make beautiful vases and all kinds of things. I could sit there for hours and just watch them.
Oh, yeah, me too. And we just love the fair. And I think, we're fighting our colonization by having this booth here and bringing in Native artists and mainstreaming Native artists that really deserve it. And we have all those cards that are so beautiful that are, everything done there is done by Natives artists, and we'll be able to give you their names and who they are, and that'll be different because a lot of times we get appropriation. Some of the coolest. I've run into people and go, "Hey, where did you get that jacket? That's really cool." And they're ashamed. They said Target. So that's appropriated, and what we're going to have is what really comes out of the minds and the hearts of our Native community. When
yes, and I love that you just said that, because all of our bandanas, on each of our bandanas is the person who designed the art on the scarf and which tribe they're from. So that's really something special.
Yeah, that is. We have Sheila Lamb coming on, Wendy, but she isn't here yet. So you're our guest right now. Oh,
that's so I want to tell you kind of a funny story, but it's not a funny story. So our beautiful teepee that we have set up here is right next to a beautiful pollinator garden. So there's tons of bees. But every time I put out the beautiful jackets and shirts with the bright colors and the flowers on them, the bees are coming to pollinate them because they think that they're real. And I'm afraid I might get stung by the end of this fair.
Oh no!
We'll have to bring some flowers for you, Wendy, for all of your hard work and to help keep the bees away from you. Robert, you should get on that. Make sure they're not dusted with that chemical that they take back to the hive and causes that collapse. I think it starts with an age.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wendy's talked about that one.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but yes, I have. But we're really happy. We have our beautiful Resist t-shirts. Not only do we have it in white and black, but we got a rainbow Resist.
Yeah.
Because we also want to embrace our pride and our two-spirit. Yep. And that's what it represents, and they're beautiful shirts. I might have to walk out here with one by the end of the day, but we'll see. We have Winona Hemp Heritage Farm t-shirts. We have also Thorpe from 1912, beautiful t-shirts. Robert, maybe you could talk about Thorpe and who Thorpe was.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good segue. The shirts have two different shoes on because when he was running in the Olympics, they stole his shoes and he had to dig them out of the trash, and that's why he has two different shoes on that famous Olympic picture of him. And people really don't know, because I know by being my age that he was always won any poll as the greatest athlete in the first half century of the United States. And he played Major League Baseball. He played football, of course, became the first NFL commissioner. And it's just amazing that, a lot of people older know about him, but the young ones don't. And he just got, the same time that these t-shirts came out, roughly within each other, he just got his medals given back to him, because what had happened was he was playing semi-pro baseball, and they found out about that, and they stripped him from his medals, even though baseball had nothing to do with what he was doing in the Olympics. So it's a celebration. It's something to be proud of and someone to be proud of, and we're just excited that they're showing, the Olympic Committee is showing some grace and gratitude towards at the very least, the greatest athlete in the first half century of the United States, and it might even be the greatest athlete of all time.
Wow.
So the decathlon's crazy because it's all different sports, the javelin, running, the shot put, and all those other things that I can't do that he did as a great athlete. And so we have his shirts, and it's just a prideful thing. But I'll be wearing one of mine. I love the shirt.
I have it too. So yes, I will be wearing mine with pride as well. And just an off note, I know we were on the radio, but we're out of hangers, just to let you know.
Oh, and I found those shirts too, by the way, just to let you know.
Oh, okay.
Wow. we didn't right. We didn't how do you say, we didn't count those out last night. They're in a box set, a bird box. So
all of you other Indigenous people who are thinking about coming to the Minnesota State Fair, make sure you're listening, because we're learning those little things that you need to know, and we're sharing that wisdom with you on air right now. Right.
We'll have 4 of each sizes, and then we'll have more if we need them. That's what the inside scoop. Hey, Wendy, thanks a lot, and I'll give you a call before I swing out to the fair again, but appreciate all you do. I love you. This is handing down generation wealth to our kids, and you were doing this in a good heart too. So
yeah.
Fair is a big way, and if it isn't successful 1 year, what the heck?
Exactly. All right,
love you. Talk to you in a little bit.
Have a great show.
All right, thank you, Pinagigi. Wow, that was Wendy Ogama. I just got a message from Ruth Buffalo. Whoops. I just got a message from Ruth Buffalo, and she will be on the next segment because she landed early as I predicted. So that's
wonderful. I'm excited to catch up with her.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Hey, let's put the bumper music out here and maybe sing along. And we'll be right back after this short break. This is Rock the Vote Native Style, and Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. Up next, Ruth Buffalo, North Dakota State Representative. Hey, Wendy, what are we doing for dinner after the show?
How about we go to J. Selby's on 169 Victoria Street in St. Paul? They have a delicious plant-based menu that's compassionate and environmentally sustainable.
I'm getting their spot-on vegan Big Mac, the dirty secret.
You can pick up and they deliver within a 5-mile radius, or you can call them at 651-222-3263 or visit jselbys.com.
Well, you sold me, Wen. Let's go order at J. Selby's tonight.
I'm hungry.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States, and 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected. Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf. Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy. As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired. Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
Don't fall for vaccine misinformation. Local medical professionals are available to answer any of your questions. Initial shots and boosters are safe for people who are pregnant and even young children. Right now, vaccines are available for anyone over 6 months of age, while boosters are available for anyone over the age of 5. This message brought to you by the Native American Community Clinic. Find a vaccination site by calling 651-304-9986 or visit vaccineconnector.mn.gov.
Come see the Native Roots Trading Post at the West End Market of the Minnesota State Fair. Native Roots Trading Post is Native owned and operated. Shop goods from local and national Native artists that you'll love instantly. Native Roots Trading Post is supporting Native artists this year at the Minnesota State Fair, August 25th to September 5th. Native Roots Trading Post, we support Native artists and you can too. Buy Native at the Native Roots Trading Post this year at the Minnesota State Fair.
This is Santita Jackson, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I couldn't be more excited about starting our days together, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Central on the Progressive Voice of Minnesota.
Would you let animals pick your insurance? Do you really need to experience mayhem to get the best rates? Or how about a celebrity quarterback or fake university saving you money? There's a lot of marketing stunts when it comes to insurance, but what you really need is someone looking out for you. Call Array Insurance, and they will work hard to find you the best insurance coverage and rates. So avoid gimmicks and call Cheryl at Array, 763-504-3067 or arrayinsurance.com. Array Insurance, working hard for you.
2022 continues to be a hot real estate market, and any advantage you gain could net you thousands of dollars. If you do plan to move at some point, installing a system from All Energy Solar could increase your resale value and help you sell your home faster. Energy costs will not be going down anytime soon, so a property with a solar energy system could make it much more attractive to potential buyers. Buyers consider electric bills when buying a home, and installing solar panels is viewed as an upgrade. Each kilowatt of solar energy could increase the resale value of your home by thousands of dollars. And even when you sell your home, you'll likely recoup the cost of switching to solar thanks to your increased property value. So if you plan to sell your home, make your home as attractive as possible to buyers by switching to All Energy Solar. Get a free, no-obligation assessment from All Energy Solar by calling 800-620-3370 or visiting allenergysolar.com. That's allenergysolar.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Partly cloudy tonight with a low of 65, then a chance of showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday with a high of 82. Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood bar and restaurant at 26th and Lyndale in Minneapolis. Come in for the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. View their menu or place a takeout order at nightingalempls.com.
This is Winona LaDuke of Honor the Earth, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. I'm Awake.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
Hey, I just want to let everybody know that this portion of the show is brought to you by the Native Roots Trading Post, which will be at the Minnesota State Fair August 25th through September 5th. And I want to also let everybody know that the Division of Indian Work is having their Strong Families Community Resource Fair, which includes backpacks, food, and school supplies, happening this Thursday, August 25th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Division of Indian Work, or DIW parking lot at 1001 East Lake Street in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Prayer and honor songs start at 11:30 a.m.
All this cool stuff happening, and I'm going to be working at the Minnesota State Fair. Geez. Hey, we are so honored to have State Representative Ruth Buffalo of North Dakota on the line here. And welcome, Ruth. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
You know, I really appreciate you. Do you remember that one time when we did an interview and you were flying somewhere, and then I did the second part of the interview when you landed? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And it was like two different Ruths and two different Roberts. We were both really tired, and it's like, hey, thank you, Ruth.
Yeah.
But it was like, and then the second part, we were all hyper. I don't know why I thought of that, but I appreciate you jumping on, and you're at the Minneapolis airport. I know you lived in the Twin Cities for a short time. Did you ever go to the Minnesota State Fair?
I did. Yes, I lived in Minneapolis when I was single with no dependents, and I worked at DIW as a youth worker in the Youth Leadership Development Program.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yes, the state fair was amazing.
yeah, we have a booth. Native Roots Trading Post has a big booth out there, and it's interesting too. We were talking. Wendy was on the phone. She's out there working, slaving without me. But we have that Jim Thorpe shirt that you put on a few weeks ago. We were selling that there, and I saw you put that on, and I wanted to get that from NTBS, and they wholesaled it to us. It's a beautiful shirt.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I have both of their styles, the black one and then the red one.
Yeah, they're awesome, and they're partnering with us. So we're selling some of their swag there too. But hey, you're at the airport. You're going to Louisville. What's happening there?
There's a transportation summit, and I was invited to be on a panel regarding missing and murdered Indigenous people.
Wow. Excellent. Excellent. So how, it's very inspiring because inspiring for me to watch you work, and especially now during campaign season. And, you're talking about how many doors you're knocking on and how many people are responding. That's just boots on the ground. And I think we were talking last time we talked how important it is to meet people where they're at and tell them who you are.
Yeah, for sure. It's really important. And when I first ran for office in 2016 in a statewide race for insurance commissioner, I was really inspired by how many people shared with us that it was their first time meeting a statewide candidate, and just having the opportunity to connect with someone individually on a one-on-one level, and how much people appreciated feeling heard and being listened to.
That must be just worth it. I mean, that old saying, the journey's the reward. That must be just worth it right there to do that and maybe change a few minds and hearts, or at least let them hear the other side if they're not, in step with us.
Yeah, for sure. I think everybody, wants to feel heard and listened to, and it's a big deal to connect with someone individually on that one-on-one personal level. So it is rewarding, and it's definitely my favorite time of the year in being a legislator or an elected official is connecting with people on their front doorstep.
So
for sure.
yeah. So you're young. Are there any? I suppose we should just stay focused on being a legislator. But are you ever thinking about becoming a senator or something national? Is that ever in the cards? Do you know?
No, I mean, myself, I know a lot of people have asked me, including different people who are in high-ranking offices right now in the federal government. But my heart is in North Dakota. I mean, it's just, we need to really build a stronger bench and a stronger foundation of fresh voices and perspectives in the North Dakota State Legislature. And I want to help build that and be a part of that. So
yeah.
Love North Dakota, and I know that there's so many more things that we could do together to continue building a stronger North Dakota for all of us.
Exactly. I appreciate that 100%. I know, with us in Minnesota, it's really important to have our native voice there because one, I think a lot of people think we're gone with the dinosaurs. We're not here. And if you're not at the table speaking up for native causes, or at least being there while laws and people talking about things that affect us, so I just got to say thank you so much, Peeny Gigi, for being that person in North Dakota.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I think of the allies and people who have been strong allies to Native communities from the beginning, and that's very it's very appreciated. Having strong allies, and now that we are having more people run for office and win. It's important too to remember that we still need true and meaningful tribal consultation. Consulting with the Native lawmaker does not equal true and meaningful tribal consultation. But yeah, so we have lots of work to do, but are thankful for the good work that has been laid before us so that we can continue clearing a path forward for future generations.
Yeah, definitely. And do me a favor. I want to do this before we got a few more minutes here, but I want to make sure, because you know me, I have a good memory, but it's short. I want you to tell how people can help you, whether it's going knocking doors with you and taking a trip to where you're at, or your website. Could you please throw that out to our audience all over Turtle Island?
Yes, Ruth4ND.com. Twitter is at Ruth4ND. Instagram is at Rep Ruth Buffalo. Facebook is at Ruth Buffalo 4ND. So if you go to Ruth4ND.com, you'll get connected to all the different social media platforms, and you'll also find a link there on how you can donate to our campaign so we can make sure our message is reaching the voters through mailers or billboards or more palm cards at the doors. You can also fill out a form if you're interested in volunteering. All of that good stuff is at root4nd.com.
Yeah, I was talking to Erin Murphy today, and I'm sure you know who Erin is. She's a state senator, used to be a representative of Minnesota here. And I was saying, hey, come on the show. And she's going, I'm up helping Alan Roy up north go door to door. And that helps so much, doesn't it, Ruth?
It does, for sure. It definitely gives candidates a boost when you're able to help out a few shifts or even pairing up. But yeah, it's a lot of fun going door to door. You get your steps in and you get to meet new neighbors and build stronger relationships. So yeah, well, highly recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. I wish you would be in town these next 12 days and stop by the booth. And we got a small teepee, the teepee that was in our store. We have that right outside our booth at the fair, and easy to find. But you and your family come back up here we got 12 days to come back and do the Minnesota get together.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely mention it to the family and see what they're doing. I have a birthday coming up this Saturday, and we're trying to reach a fundraising goal of $2,700. But if we pass that goal, even better. But yeah, just really pushing the online donation link at root4nd.com.
No, that's perfect. Yeah. And I think Wendy and I will definitely donate to that. We'll have to check it out. But we really appreciate you stepping in, as you always do. Do you have any last comments here before we let you go? We got a couple minutes left.
I'm just thankful for your continued support, Robert and Wendy, and just encouraging everybody to start thinking about voting in November. Cass County and North Dakota, we have early voting, so make sure you're up to date on local voting locations and all that good stuff. Start making your plans to vote now. September, October, November is right around the corner. So.
Wow. Yeah, and again, Peeny Gigi for jumping on. I mean, I really, really appreciate you jumping on. I mean, you got so many things that you're doing, and to spend some time with us really means a lot to our listeners, and especially Ogama, Wendy, and I. So, Peeny Gigi again for coming on, Ruth.
No problem. Thank you so much.
All right. Hey, that was Ruth Buffalo of North Dakota State Representative, and we're really blessed to Ogama to be able to talk to high-powered Native American leaders like this that can come on and talk to us and tell them what, and just give it to everybody how normal they are and how cool they are, and right, I feel blessed.
Yeah, absolutely. And, for them to give us their time and to share their time with us, in the middle of a campaign season in a lot of states and a lot of places throughout the country, it's the middle of campaigning. We're definitely very blessed for them to share that time with us and to come on and talk to people. I mean, I think when you're a kid or, even when you're a young adult and you're just you're kind of figuring out both how to be an adult and how to do things like being politically active. You kind of think of politicians as these figures that are just they're like movie stars, maybe,
Right.
like they're not like you. But politicians, especially at a local level, are so very much like a lot of us, I think.
I agree 100%. And I remember being a young person during the 60s and early 70s, really into politics. It was really strange for someone my age, but I remember meeting Hubert Humphrey for the first time, and he was the vice president of the United States and also a senator, and it just those kind of vibes. And Bobby Kennedy was alive, and and running for president in '68, and I remember that, and I remember him and the tragic death, and the same year Martin Luther King was assassinated. So I agree, it's movie stars, but they are, at least the ones that I've met, are really down to earth, and they're in there for the right reason, in a good way. Now, some other ones I've seen, I'm going, what the heck? So, the Republican Party's for nothing, and we know that. And so Vote blue no matter who. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Hey, Ogama, I've been hearing a lot about this term, climate justice. What is that?
Climate justice is recognizing that the negative impacts of climate change don't affect all people equally. It also means transitioning from a fossil fuel-based economy to a more sustainable future. MN350 is one of the groups that's pushing for this transition to protect our futures. You can even get involved too.
That's great, especially since I'm concerned about pipeline projects like Line 3. How can I help MN350?
Just find them on Facebook or visit mn350.org.
J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
St. Paul Public Schools wants to make sure you're ready for back to school. They're having a 2-day Indian education school supply pickup on August 25th and 26th. It takes place at the Creative Arts Secondary School located at 65 East Kellogg Boulevard in St. Paul. Plus $50 of COVID vaccine incentives will be available both days. Again, that's the Indian Education School Supply Pickup on Thursday, August 25th and Friday, August 26th at 65 East Kellogg Boulevard in St. Paul. Learn more by calling 612-369-9770.
The Senior Linkage Line is a free statewide service of the Minnesota Board on Aging in partnership with Trellis. I have volunteered with seniors nearly 15 years, working alongside their compassionate team. I am honored to partner with Trellis as we help our elders find housing, compare costs of Medicare prescriptions, and learn how to avoid fraud and scams targeting seniors. We help our elders optimize well-being as they age, and we can help you too. Reach out today at trellisconnects.org.
Bonjour, I am Oshawashko Gajig. I'm from Red Lake Nation, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations. Oh!
Cool. Hey, Ogma, I got a hold of Sheila Lamb. Welcome, Sheila. We wanted to check in and see how you're doing. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Robert. How is everyone on your side?
Well, we're busy as heck. Wendy's at the fair setting up our big booth, our Native Roots Trading Post booth at the Minnesota Get Together. And we just had Ruth Buffalo on, and we had a check-in from Wendy, and of course, Ogama with the news. So we've been cooking along here, but we haven't talked to you in a while. And so I only got a few minutes to talk to you, but tell us what's happening up there and tell everyone we're on like 30 more stations across the country. Tell people who you are.
Well, I'm Sheila Lamb. I am an Indigenous City Council member in Cloquet, Minnesota. I served on the MMIW task force here as well. And I am an advocate for traffic, sexual assault, and domestic violence, Indigenous women and youth.
That's how I've met you. And then you won as a city council member up in Cloquet and with the big Rock the Vote Native Style 2 years ago.
Well, it was about 3.5 years ago now.
What?
Yeah,
What?
but the really good news is I am running unopposed this time, so I have another 4 years. And I think a lot of that was from things like this, getting the word out, and a lot of door knocking and actually talking to people and trying to make a difference.
Well, we were just talking to North Dakota State Representative Ruth Buffalo about how important it is meeting people where they're at. You know, how has been your experience up there in the deep north?
You know, it can be a mixed bag, but I think the most important thing is that visibility and actually having the one-on-one conversations or doing small little gatherings like coffee and cupcakes or something. We even do that, and we're trying to start it back up again, where our constituents get to come to our local library for coffee and cookies and we discuss concerns in our wards and in the city as a whole. So it's relationship building. It's letting people see who we are and eliminating preconceived ideas quite often.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's hard, but it's also a thing that you need to do is that door to door. Weren't able to do that a few years ago with COVID, and I remember that election cycle was very difficult for a lot of people. And now everyone's getting out, whether it's on a mask or being vaccinated, and doing these door to door activities, which is awesome because I think we need to show who we are and that we're not unhinged like a lot of people on that other side. Oh,
Absolutely. And the other piece of the good news was after I got elected, I talked a friend of mine, Liz Jockla, into running. So she also became the at-large council member for the city of Cloquet. So for the first time in history, we actually have 2 Indigenous women serving on city council.
I just saw Liz with this group of musicians and poets down here, and she's an amazing singer too.
Oh, she is. And she's also a college educator. So Liz is someone that is just everywhere. And again, I think that was part of her success is people know her for who she is. And that makes the difference. And now more than ever, breaking those boundaries, having that voice, getting out to vote is all huge. We, after coming out of being so isolated and with the way that there's been so many twists and turns within government, I think we have to remain even more diligent and get out there and make sure that we have the right people in office and that we have representation within local, county, state, and federal government.
Yeah, that is so important. And I think too, I don't know how it is up there, but I know in places across the country, it's getting harder for our Indigenous and Democratic voters to vote because they're moving things around and changing laws on voting. And so it's double hard now, but so we have to push back and regain and remain being able to vote.
Oh, we absolutely do. And we also have to keep our eyes open. I know here in my area, a gentleman that is running for mayor trying to defeat our current mayor is the same person who I defeated that had served for 17 years. And, this is an environmental issue in my eyes because he makes the Enbridge deal. So getting to know who people are and what they stand for really can make a tremendous difference.
So, who else do we got up there? I know Cloquet. You can tell our people, where is Cloquet exactly in Minnesota?
Cloquet is about 24 miles south of Duluth. So technically we're part of the Iron Range. This is one of the most difficult areas to have a Democratic stronghold at all because of all the mines and pipelines and that type of thing.
Right.
So, there's Heather Keeler and others in this area that still have a voice for us, but we need to make sure people like that stay in office. Sadly, we lost Duluth City Council member Renee Vanette to cancer. So that voice is now gone in the Duluth area too.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that. That's sad.
Yeah,
wow.
from cancer. So it was kind of a shock. And of course it happened in between elections. So we just have to always be aware and have people willing to step up and run for office.
Well, and that's what's great about you. I know you as a not only a water protector, but also an animal advocate. And we're on a couple boards together. And I know you away from your job and how sincere and smart you are, and I really appreciate you stepping up here and spending some time with us, and especially our new stations out there getting to know who you are, because we'll be knocking on your door again soon.
Well, Miguel, I'm always going to do what I can to be available when you need me or you want to talk about something, Robert. And after years of knowing you, I admire everything you and Wendy do as well. You guys are out there really making a difference, and you're appreciated.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you stopping in, and maybe in the next couple of weeks we'll reach out. Unless you're in the fair, if you're coming down to the fair, come on by our store. And I'm doing the show live at the fair too, Monday through Friday and Thursday and Friday.
Nancy Bolio told me you are going to be selling her wonderful soap too.
Yes, exactly.
And I bought those as gifts for my daughter. So I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I would strongly encourage everyone to stop by and say hi and get some of those soaps too.
That's right. Good call. Good little plug there. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sheila. Let's talk soon.
Miguel, take care.
Wow, that was Sheila Lamb, and up in Cloquet, Minnesota, City Council member Ogama. Are you there? Maybe I'm just going to run the show by myself.
No, I'm here. I just couldn't get to my button fast enough to unmute. Yes, I'm so glad Sheila was able to join us tonight. We haven't heard from her in quite a long time.
I know. We only got a few seconds left here. Ogaman, I want to give people the applause button for stopping in. For you, for your news. Also for Wendy for checking in from the fair. And then also, we got Ruth Buffalo at the airport, running through the airport, stopping in with us. And then Sheila Lamb. What a great show.
It was a wonderful show. Thank you for being a pilot for us, Robert Pilot. And we're excited for tomorrow, the middle of the week.
That's right. We'll be right back. We'll be back tomorrow. This is Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake.
I'm Candy Brothel, publisher of the Twin Cities edition of Natural Awakenings magazine and host